Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews.
Don't make me destroy you.
Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and this is my review for episode 4 of The Rings of Power. Now, I'm starting to struggle with this series. I've got to be honest. I am really starting to struggle. It's moving at such a weird pace for me that I'm really starting to question a lot about it. The pacing in terms of the history and lore that, you know, anyone that's invested in Tolkien mythology and history before seems to be moving very, very rapidly. Things are happening so goddamn quick. It's unreal. We in this episode, there are spoilers, so be careful. In this episode, we see visions of the fall of Numenor, and immediately, come the conclusion of the episode, we get little hints that this is already starting to happen. Fucking hell, we've only just fucking arrived here. Jesus Christ. Obviously, nothing spectacular like that does actually happen in this episode, but everything just seems to be going so quickly. And yet, the overall premise of the show, at a halfway point, we're on episode 4, there's 8 episodes in total, and we're halfway through this first season. Realistically, we should be getting, some kind of, steamroll effect. We're starting to see, characters doing certain things, investing in certain people and places. We're still trudging through the mysteries of what's really going on, which isn't a problem in terms of longevity of the show. But when the characters themselves aren't really, shall I say, entertaining or memorable at this point, there's very little to grab hold of, to keep invested with, other than, and this is my bone of contention, other than what they're showing us in the lore. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Everything that we're seeing in the lore, the reveal of the Palenthea, the fact that they're digging for mithril, which conjures up the possibility that eventually, they're going to unleash the fucking Balrog in the mines of wherever they are, Moria. Are they in Moria? I assume they're in Moria. They're in the Misty Mountains anyway. So we're seeing that already. We're getting towards that, where this is going to happen. We're seeing, the lands of Mordor being created. We're seeing the fall of Numenor possibly happening. All of this is, entertaining stuff for me, because I've always wanted to see like things like this and how it was all created. But not at the expense of quality characters, decent writing, interesting dialogue. I can't fucking tell you what any of the characters say in this, and it's got nothing to do with the use of language. I admit some people probably are struggling with the language in this show. I get it. It was a thing. There wasn't really that much of an issue in the Lord of the Rings films, but it's the verse, the way they're speaking, can be difficult. The interesting thing was that with Lord of the Rings, the characters had a bit of enjoyment. They were fun. They were interesting interesting to listen to and to watch, the mannerisms, everything. Here, in this, being stoic and hard-nosed like Galadriel is, does not make an entertaining watch all the time. And a number of the characters in this, when we're following three elven lead characters, and all of them, have their very serious tones all the time. And apart from Elrond, I'll give Elrond his due. There are some flecks of enjoyment there, but that's because the dwarves are so entertaining. The issue is the elves are very emotionless. which fits in with the lore, but at the same time, fucking hell, we need some enjoyment here. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. I want to enjoy this show. I have enjoyed the previous episodes up to now, but it's grinding to a slow trudge, and they either need to do something massive, and I fear it might actually be releasing the Balrog, or something along those lines. But my word, it's difficult. It's difficult at the moment because I do want to like this show, and there are things I do like about the show. The music is okay. It's not as impactful as Lord of the Rings, and I'm thinking in terms of the Isengard music. Fucking hell, that music's superb, powerful, punching music. The theme music, all superbly powerful. There's nothing memorable in this music so far. It's LOTR light. It's trying to be Lord of the Rings. It's trying to be the Hobbit music. It's not hitting it. There's no grandiosity to it. It's almost there. There's just something a bit, shall we say, we don't want to get copyrighted kind of thing, which is bizarre. The way it looks is superb, as it has been since the beginning. That's where the money's gone, clearly. But other than that, I'm starting to struggle. I am starting to struggle. We're halfway through. It needs to ramp up. It needs to do something different. Like I said, there are a lot of things happening in the show, and then there are things that are not happening. There seems to be a lot of bluster over very little. We had a whole mine collapse in this when they're mining for mithril. There's still the subject about what the elf is building. The one that Elrond's been with. Galadriel tries to rally an army here to take the battle to Christ, I can't remember, the Southlands, to prevent the formation of Mordor. And we can guess how that's going to happen, how that's going to fail miserably, because Mordor needs to happen. It needs to come about. So there's nothing really surprising or shocking really to get a grip hold of and invest in at the moment. Everything's flittering by just nicely, safely. The action has been violent in places, but not really all that much, I have to say. Surprising, really. I thought they were going all out with this. I thought they were really sort of putting this into, the R-rated territory. But yeah, it's a difficult one. Other than that, I can't really think of any sort of plot things that really happened, apart from Galadriel upsetting the Númenóreans and then them changing their mind come to the end because they realise the Queen has this vision of Númenor falling, and then she realises, oh God, I need Galadriel's help. We need the help of the Eldar. We can't just kick them out again. Galadriel gets on a boat, and the next thing she's back in the throne room. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot happening, and yet there isn't anything happening. We didn't have anything from the Harfoots in this. No more from not Gandalf. So yeah, I'm guessing we're going to have a full-on Harfoot episode next episode. Trying to slow it down, I guess, even more. But again, I don't really care about the Harfoots traipsing across the lands in a caravan. It's sweet, it's nice, I guess, but again, we've not really been given anything, really all that much to invest in other than Lenny Henry, who still surprises me that he's in this. But yeah, that's my review for episode 4 of The Rings of Power. I'm hoping it picks up in some kind of way. It's interesting, really. I'm speaking to a friend, Nathan Smith, and he says he's kind of checked out a little bit already. And to paraphrase him, I'll put the quote on screen. He's much more interested in being entertained by Matt Smith trying to nail his niece. And I can kind of see where he's coming from. There's something alluring and entertaining, you know, on the nose kind of interactions, and you know, the characters having fun in House of the Dragon. Nobody's having fun in this series yet. In the Rings of Power, they need to have fun. So yeah, I'll be giving this a this episode. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's adequate. Is it? Yeah. That's it for this video. Bye bye.